Welcome back, everybody. Part 4 of the RCA Victor 87T series. I split this video up in two, so there will be a part 5, which is the final demonstration of the radio. It ran longer than I had anticipated simply because I included footage that I normally would not put in. They're not really bloopers, but this is going to be mostly unedited. I thought you guys might get a kick at what really happens behind the camera or in front of the camera or whatever as this thing is being made. But in this part 4, we'll do a little bit of touch-up work on the cabinet, maybe a little detail work and stuff like that, and then we'll start doing some reassembly, a little bit extra detail, not just said of I just put this on. I may show a little bit more of that, and then we'll do a final power up, and this is totally unedited power up. You'll see it just as it happens. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. I'm going to attempt to paint that detail line. I'm using some oil paint. Take a few days to dry, I'm sure, but that'll be okay. This is the white. I'm thinning it down with some oil. And I have taken a brush, a cheap brush, and I have trimmed out some of the bristles so that I can get down into the grooves. So I haven't mixed the oil, thinned it. That'll just be, as you can see, I hadn't mixed it yet, but I will thin it and see before I have too much coffee to see if I can do this. Got it mixed. I'm not going to do all this on camera because I'm sure I may make a mess. But I'm going to roll my brush as much as I can. And I may have to trim this even more, I don't know. And the key is going to be wiping as I can. Make sure I don't get it on the cabinet no more than I have to. And with anything, guys, patience. It's like eating an elephant, one bite at a time. So there you go. Keep a firm hand. A little more progress. Okay, there's the side touched up. So maybe I should have dulled it a little bit, make it look older. Don't know. It'll age with time, I guess. Alright, I'm going after the capacitor and resistor. It was on the volume control, or right behind it there. And so I just went ahead and took the volume control out. I'm going to go ahead and desolder it and take it out and spray it while I'm here. Might as well, right? I pulled this volume control out and sprayed it, cleaned it out really good. It looks good on a meter, but time will tell. I did replace this capacitor. I did the curly Q to the ground, but I was able to solder directly to the terminal and replace this 27K resistor. As you can see, I replaced the yellow, green, and blue wire here. I believe that takes care of all the rubber wire. I still have to finish this filter cap and put a 5.6K resistor across here and put our tuning condenser in. Another thing that I've got to do is put some replace the wire to the lamps themselves. So, and that should be about it. Let me dig into this and see what about this capacitor. Okay, I put some new wire on the lamp holders, and now I've got to thread that through there and hook it up. And then I think we're about ready to try it. Alright, I got the grommets in. Where did that come from? Piece of wire. But these old ones, they're hard as a rock, so I guess I'll end up cutting those out. If you can see, they'll go in just like that. Let me cut these out and get right back. Cut these out. It's supposed to sound like this. Anyway, let's see. They go in this way. See if I can put this in. Show you a trick that Michael from That Tube Sound showed me how to get these in, and it's called Ancient Radio Repairman Lubrication. And let's see if they'll go in from the bottom side easier. Well, I'm not having any luck at all, am I? There's one. And let's see if we can get the other one in. Yeah, old Michael. I hadn't heard from him lately. Hope he's doing okay out in the Western Outpost. Maybe he's watching me. He likes to. His cats used to like to watch my videos. Don't ask me why, but they did. Okay, got that one in. But this was a secret he taught me about the ancient repairman lubrication. And maybe one day you guys will learn this secret too. This one might be a little bit harder. And there that is. There they're in. Now, I think I'm going to bed. We'll do this tomorrow. Alright, you remember these little thimbles or spacers, they go in here, and what that does is that keeps from, when you tighten the screws down, keeps that from squeezing that and collapsing that. One in each one. And then back here, remember there's a lock washer and a flat washer. It goes on that. Of course, there's a couple of screws here. And let's see. we've got to feed these down through each one of these holes. The ground straps. Yeah, one missing here. There we go. Yeah. Trying to get them all. Get them all fitting in at the same time. I forgot to change this resistor on the back of this thing, but it's up here on top, so it won't be a big deal. All right. So these go in, tighten down here. And it won't let it compress that too much, that spacer. Okay. Well, sorry. I believe that's a different size than that screw. I'm guessing. And I guessed wrong. There we go. And that fastens down without totally compressing it, so it gives a little bit of movement. Okay. Okay, we're going to have to connect these 4 ground straps, but we've also got to take and connect that into there, bend that to where it goes up in there, and solder that. Now the other thing we can't forget is this one connects over here, but it's also got to go through this one on the tuning condenser, so we've got to kind of thread that through there without breaking something in the meantime. And bring that back down to about right here, and then it goes into there, and it comes down, and then it goes into this terminal strip right here, right along in there. All right, so 6 solder connections, is that, no, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4 for the ground straps, 5 for that, 6, and 7. One resistor that needs to be changed if you've got a magic eye. There's usually a 1 meg ohm Now this calls for 1/10 of watt resistor in this plug. So let's see, that goes, the dot goes on that slot. Well, let's see, where's my resistor at? There it is, right there. Let me zoom in so you can see it. It goes from this pin to this pin and is down inside there. Maybe you can see it. So let's see if I can get that out. Make sure this goes back, like, let me mark this. Okay, that is, got the pin, the mark goes to there. Okay, gotcha. All right. There's the new 1 meg ohm resistor in there, 1/4 watt. And we put the lid back on this, and it'll be time to, I think it's time to put some power to this. I think I've got everything under the chassis, under the hood, wired back, hopefully correctly. Got the tuning condenser soldered in. Put a fuse. There was already a hole there, so I just mounted the fuse holder here, tied my UL knot, ran it up to my switch. I have not put the speaker on yet, so that's going to be one of the next things we do. The other thing is, let's check our plug. What was the, somewhere around 8 to 9 ohms or so with the switch on with my plug. There's right around 9 ohms. So as my good buddy George Christophe in across the big pond, I hope I can work on this without killing myself. So I told him I was going to say that in Appalachian American, so he got a kick out of it, I think. So let's flip this over and I'll show you what I did on the top side. Installed a new 470K resistor, also a new grid cap wire, also another one here. Remember the tuning eye. And I'm not going to put the dial on until we get everything rolling, but I think flip this around, put the speaker on, plug it up, put all the tubes in it, and see what happens. I did put a new wire for the dial lamps. As you can see, I don't have any dial lamps. I'm going to have to order some. Maybe I've got some laying around here somewhere that might work. But put the knobs on. Make sure it's in the broadcast band. Put the volume down about a 1/4 turn. Let's put the speaker on. See what we got. Got the speaker on, and I have populated the tubes. Same rectifier. I did put a new, I did put a 6F6 in here. Then this is the 6F5, this is the 6H6. I did put the 6K5, is that right? Trying to remember exactly. It's 6K7. I did put a 6K7. Remember they had a 6J7 in there. I put a 6K7 and then the 6A8. Unfortunately, the 6G5 worked, but it was extremely dim. So I bought was it a 6U5, I believe. So it tests good and looked all right, so I put it in there anyway. Okay, the moment of truth. Let's turn some of these lights off. Yeah, I've got my meter connected here to this capacitor, and this is the maximum voltage in the whole outfit. It's 344 volts to ground. So I've got that hooked up. I think you'll be able to see it. I'll be telling you what the voltage and the current is through the variac. We'll be bringing it up. There won't be any illumination on the dials because I don't have any bulbs to put in it at this point. So anyway, here we go. Y'all ready? Okay, variac down. Everything's hooked up. We're hot. We're bringing up the voltage. There's about 25 volts. Just a little bit of current. There's 25 volts, sorry. Maybe I need to, got a little jump in the B plus. Current still around less than 100 milliamps. There's about 50. We'll let that sit there for a second or so. B plus is coming up over 200. Current is still less than 200 milliamps. Will be coming up. I can't see any filaments light on the tubes yet because they're all metal. Maybe I can see the eye tube. Okay, there's about 70 volts. Current rising. We're running just shy of 300 milliamps at 70 volts. We're getting a little glow in the eye. Let me see if I can, maybe you can see that. Okay, let's go on up to about 90. Running about 420 milliamps. All right, coming on up to about 100. Got noise. Okay, let's look at our tuning eye. Opening and closing. All right. It's just shy of 500 milliamps, about 100 volts. There's 110. And we're setting at 322 volts. And there is about 115, 117 or so, just shy of 600 milliamps. Buckle up that seatbelt and get ready for the ride of your life as we get ready to kick it off. Sound like I got stuff in my tuning condenser.
Always another song from the 80s, 90s, and more. Cleveland's Alive 97.1.
Voltage is 343 volts. And it's rated, it says I'm supposed to have 344.
We also maintain a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week mobile crisis response team prepared to deal with.
And the eye works. You can see it. Let's see if I can turn that tone knob a little bit.
Thank you from the French's Shoes and Boots Studios of Beverly Broadcasting, 101.1 The Eagle, WDNT, Spring City, Dayton.
ABC News, I'm Trevor Ault. Cases of coronavirus are on the rise, with the majority of
Tone
states
works.
across the country now under mandatory stay-at-home orders or similar measures.
All right. We'll go under the hood and I'll go ahead and put all this other stuff, but I'd like to flip it over and do some voltage checks and what have you. Isn't that pretty? That just makes the radio works so much better to see that, doesn't it? That'll do it for part 4. In part 5, we're going to do voltage checks and put the dial back together along with the belt that goes along with that. Hope everyone's doing well. So from Larry, from the hills of Tennessee, thanks for watching.